Want help to grow your business? Download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.
Hello, I'm Jesse Forrest.
Hello, and I'm Kate Toon.
And welcome to Write for Business. This is a show that teaches you how to write the right words to attract more sales, leads, and customers. In this episode, we're going to share with you the fundamentals of writing for the web. If you've ever wanted to know what is web copywriting and how can I use it to attract more sales and customers online, this episode is for you.
That all coming up in a minute. But before we get started, Jesse, I heard a rumor that you were once in an adult choir.
It's true. It's kind of embarrassing, but I always wanted to sing in public, and that was an opportunity to do so. I was very scared, but also excited, kind of like doing this show.
Well, I think maybe you should sing us out at the end of the show.
Maybe. So let's dive right in. This episode is all about web copywriting. We're going to teach you the fundamentals. But first, how about a definition? So what is web copywriting? Well, it's simply writing the words that get people to take action online. That might be to sign up, to make a purchase, to register, fill out a form, or even just click a button.
Yeah, I think that's right. And I think you might have heard of it referred to as other things like digital copy or online copywriting. They're all the same thing. Basically, copy for websites, landing pages, email campaigns, Google ads, social media, you name it. If it's online, you can pretty much guess that it's going to be web copywriting, especially if it causes somebody to do something, to take an action.
Yeah, absolutely. And it also brings the question, well, what is not web copywriting? Because there's so many different forms of communication and writing online. In my opinion, I think Kate might disagree with me here, but content is used to entertain, educate, and inform people. So I believe that things like blog posts, articles, newsletters, videos, and infographics are really more educational because they don't inspire action. But I know you disagree.
Well, I think the lines are blurring. So I know that this kind of copy is generally referred to as content marketing, but I would say that it's changing a little bit because I think even if you are writing a blog post, its primary goal is to educate or inform. At the back of your mind, you're still hoping it's going to generate a sale. You're still hoping it's going to cause the person to take action, even if that action is just a comment, to share, or to sign up to your newsletter. So I think the lines are blurring a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So why is web copywriting so important? Well, attention spans are getting shorter and shorter. I mean, people are really overwhelmed with the millions of websites and marketing messages, social media posts and emails they get almost on a daily basis. So web copy can really help you to cut through the noise and get attention and sell more of your products and services.
That's right. And I think it's really important for all different types of businesses. So whether you're a small business or a large corporate, it doesn't matter. I think everybody needs to be getting into writing great web copy.
Yeah, absolutely. So who should learn web copy?
Well, I think, as I just said, small business owners, online marketers, anybody who's selling products and services online. I think anybody can benefit from learning how to communicate their message more effectively.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we get started, we do have a few tips for you. There's a few things you need to know. I think the most important thing is research. And you need to research and understand your target market on a deeper level, more so than you potentially do now. So understanding their fears, problems, and desires so that you can write copy that's really going to hit all of their hot buttons.
I love that phrase, hot buttons. I don't know where that came from. I've never heard of that.
Yeah. Well,
I don't want to hit anybody's hot buttons. I'm just going to put that out there. But anyway, let's keep going.
Absolutely. For me, hot buttons is all about understanding them so that when you write and they read what you've written, they're going to assume that you've been following them around because you understand them so well. When you can do that, that for me is the most important thing.
Yeah, agree.
I know there's an old guy here that also agrees, and because it's an old quote from an old person, we know that it's accurate.
Yeah, totally. Good old David Ogilvy. We'll be wheeling him out again and again throughout the show. And David Ogilvy believed that, if you didn't really take the time to understand your research, then you were kind of like a war general that wasn't listening to the enemy messages. You just weren't listening to the signals that were going to tell you what your customers wanted.
Yeah, absolutely. So research is crucial. And also, one way you can research is eavesdropping on your audience. Now, how do you eavesdrop on your audience? We're not spies, we're writers. But a lot of writing is research, as we said. So one way you can do it to discover the language that your target audience is using to describe their fears, problems, and desires is that you can look at Facebook groups that they're hanging out and conversing in. You can, check out Amazon book reviews and read the reviews that they're leaving about subjects that matter to them. Online forums, go in there and find topics that are related to the target audience and what they're interested in and read those, and also send out surveys to your database is another way.
Yeah, I think people seem to be scared of asking their customers questions. You've got a question, you're unsure whether they're going to like this particular product or service, or what they're really looking for that product or service to do. Just ask them. Most people are happy to give you an answer. People love giving answers.
Yes, asking you should receive.
Yeah.
So let's dive right in. How to write for the web. Well, here's another quote from an old man, and this is from the Nielsen Group. And I love this because it sums up my feelings exactly. People don't read online. They scan, skim, and scroll. And they found out that almost 80% of test users, which is visitors, always scanned any new page. They came across only 16% read word by word. So most people, as you might be doing at home, is scanning and scrolling the page.
Yeah, I think that's so true. I think it's quite depressing as a web copywriter myself to realize that a lot of the words that I write won't ever be read, but it doesn't matter. And we're going to teach you why it doesn't matter.
Yeah, all those wonderful words we slave away writing and they never even get read.
Yeah.
Well, they do, but just in a different way. Here's a readability graph. And what this shows is one paragraph of text which has some information on it. And we know that the readability of that paragraph on a web page was about 27%. Now, when we took that same information and yet we broke it up into a bulleted list, the readability increased by almost 100%, which is an incredible, increase in readability.
Pretty awesome.
Simply because the copy or the content was formatted to be more web friendly with the bullet points.
Okay, so one of the things I think we can do is give people 5 top tips for improving their web copywriting and making it more suitable for the scanners and the scrollers. When I'm writing web copy for my clients, I tend to follow 5 simple steps. And they are to highlight certain words and phrases or bold them. I often bold the word at the beginning of the bullet point, for example, so that you can just scan through and get an idea of what the whole bullet is going to be about without having to read it. And I also will often bold a phrase within a paragraph. So again, you don't have to read the whole paragraph. You can just read that bolded phrase. Another thing I do is use bulleted lists, like the example you just showed. I think bulleted lists are great. And also I think using meaningful subheaders. So in between pretty much every paragraph or second paragraph, I'll put a little subheader that really signposts what that next paragraph is going to be about. And what I find that can help with is that people can jump to what they're interested in, especially if it's a long page of copy. Another 2 things, I'm sure you do the same things, short paragraphs, short sentences.
Yeah, absolutely. These are also important. Like, I follow this list almost religiously as well.
Yeah.
And it's all about formatting the copy more than just writing great copy.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got an example here. I know this is something I screen grabbed from Apple, and this is for their iPad mini product. So this is really, something that you might see on their website. And I think what's really cool about this, it follows some of the rules, those 5 tips that we've mentioned. It's got a subheading, a meaningful subheading that makes sense and speaks of the benefits. We've got a short paragraph here with some great copy about the iPad mini. And we also have this picture that's going to grab people's attention. I mean, I love using pictures within paragraphs because they usually draw the eye first and then into the copy. So it's really cool. But if you were scrolling the iPad mini site, you'd see an example of this and some great copy.
Yeah.
Here's another one. I think this is from unbounce.com from memory.
Yeah, and what I like about this is, they want to break down what's in the course, and there's a lot of course materials. And one thing that's really unappealing when you hit a web page is if everything is just one giant lump of copy, and you go, oh my God, I've got to read through all of that. So what they've done is they've broken it up into, got 9 here, but I think there's 10 points in total. Each one's got a meaningful subheader, which is underlined as well, so that's a clickable link. We've got numbers numbers to take us through, and then they're probably in order of importance as well, and just one line of copy under each. So that if you really wanted to scan this page really quickly, you could get all the features of the course in a couple of seconds.
Yeah, and like we said, people's attention spans are so short nowadays anyway that this kind of copy is really going to appeal to them.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Great. Well, now we're talking about features and benefits.
Good old features and benefits.
Yeah. So there's really a few things that people need to know about features and benefits. I think one of the most important ones is that people only care about that radio station that we're all tuned into, which is WIIFM. What's in it for me, right?
Ah, okay.
So features tell, as we know, and benefits sell. A feature is something that the product is, and a benefit, I think, is something the product does. You know, something that benefits the ideal customer. So that's really important. And what about this? This is kind
the
of a
classic. My dad told me this, and I thought it was something that my dad made up. And it's that people buy holes, not drills. So they don't care that that drill has got an extra long cable and a torque and a wiggly bit and a blue widget. All they care about is drilling a hole in the wall. So the widget and the cable, they're all features. But the benefit is that I can drill a perfect hole in my perfect wall.
Yeah, it's what it does, right?
Yeah.
Here's a great exercise that people can do at home, and my iPhone is somewhere. Actually, it's hiding under my desk. So here's an exercise you can all do at home, and that really is transforming your features into benefits. Now, if you've got an iPhone or really any product, you simply look at that product, look at the feature. Like a feature of the iPhone would be that it has a large screen.
Okay.
So that's a feature.
That's a feature. What's the benefit of that for me then?
Yeah, so the benefit with a large screen, Kate, is that you'll be able to see more. So you'll be able to look at photos in, larger size, in better quality. You'll be able to see them, and you'll be able to watch and play movies on your phone.
Yeah.
Which is some of the benefits of having a large screen. But the real trick here isn't what I've said about the iPhone. It's the question which means. But you could also ask another question,
yeah,
right?
my favorite question is to ask, so what? So what? So I read copy and it's like, our towels are super soft. And it's like, well, so what? Well, that means they're going to be more enjoyable to use after your shower, and they're going to be softer on your kid's skin. And, and then I think you can also even take it a step further. So you take it beyond benefit into advantage. So we talked about, the hole in the wall, and that this drill might be super efficient at drilling holes. Well, what's the advantage of that? Well, that the job's going to take me less time, and I'm going to be able to spend more time doing what I want to do. So you kind of even push it beyond that. So you say, so what, so what, so what, and keep saying so what until you get to the nub, the real root of the problem.
Yeah, the root of the problem, or the desired action, or what the audience or the target audience really wants.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. We're going to take a break now. When we come back, we're going to talk more about headlines, how to write killer headlines that really grab attention online. So you've been watching Write for Business. We'll see you soon. Hello, you're watching Write for Business with Kate Toon and Jessie Forrest, and today we're talking about Web Copywriting 101, how to write great web copy that makes people take action. And we're going to talk right now about headlines.
Headlines, we love a good headline, and we're going to be talking about how to write awesome headlines for your audience. So, interesting statistic is that 90% of website visitors leave within...
To continue enjoying this presentation, download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.